million Native Indians, 100 million blacks in the slave trade, you are responsible for the crimes of your forefathers. A lot of you white people walk around here like, I never had slaves. You were never a slave. I never had slaves. But you benefit for the crimes of your forefathers. The reason why you're able to walk around and enjoy Hollywood is because your fathers had to kill. They had to rape and they had to murder innocent people for you to have that opportunity. Does it make sense? The Lord hates Esau. And if you so-called white people, you are descended from a man named Esau in the Bible. I think you better learn your history, okay? You are the original caveman. And this is the original caveman that you see right here. The original.
I'm in a hell of a hole. Was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy.
As a young black man, I feel that I have an obligation to my race of people. Not to no other race or no other nationality, just to black people. As a young black man, I feel that I have an obligation to my race of people. Not to no other race or no other nationality, just to black people.
When nowadays I work hard on the job, till I come cross y'all, still like I'm a criminal. Crime and get caught, it could be your first charge. Like, man, you ain't getting the minimum. It gon' dip, squat, 5 mile run, push, pull, sit on, goddamn. Strong, looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long before they grow, I can't leave them on their own. They killed Daddy like he had a 30-day cake. The news covering up the story for what they say. It took me back to the time we lost Otis. Pretend these crackers, they gon' tell you something bogus. And I'm thinking like, damn, what you tell the kids? We try to put up a fight, but did we fail the kids? Cause they really got us looking like no damn good. And why success got to cost my manhood? Hey, black women, y'all got to wait the fuck up. Cause some of y'all heavy crackers keep us fucked up. You want your respect, boo, that's what's up.
Hey, let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. Hey, shalom, Lord in Christ, Israel. Let's get a sound check. We using a new, highly sophisticated mic. Give me a sound check. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. You can hear me clear. You said what? Where at? No. It's not over here. Listen, man, I'm precinct officer at the Walker Bar. I was about to say I'm the Walker Bar for Black Authentic Truth. Y'all know what it is. I'm precinct officer at the Walker Bar 5000 under Captain Gadalhar, under Commandant Jenny Ahana, under Christ in the ISUPK. This is the history class. This is scripture breakdown class. We go into history, we go into everything. We touch on all the different topics that's concerning our people and our people waking up and coming back to their heritage. Didn't you have it earlier? So you never had it. It's over there. It's over there on the counter then. The Wada Kodash, Sister Baratha, now good looking now. All right. You got it? Most High in Christ. Yeah, we're going to go into it. I'm going to a story that's in the airways right now, and that's about the brother Christopher Gilbert, brother that was pushed into a lake. I think they were at a restaurant with quote unquote his friends, and one of them pushed him in the lake. The brother could not swim. For 10 minutes, he was underwater fighting for his life. First off, I want to know if it's any questions in the room. Any brothers got any questions? Anybody in the comments have any questions? All right. I'll let you set that up.
Come on, cuz. So Philippians 4:11 through 12.
So like it. Go ahead.
Come on, cuz.
Okay, is the car Reyes? Go ahead and you say you do. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content.
Mm-hmm.
I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere in all things, I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, does your aspirations or like your dreams turn into like greed? Because it's like, I get what it's saying. Like, I know how to be content and still want better things, but at one point, does your want for better things turn into greed and just being greedy and like
turn into greed? I would say there's a point where your aspirations and your ambitions can turn you away from the truth, can turn you from doing the work of the Lord, or just like everybody is not required to do the work of the Lord. When we come into this truth, and you learn the knowledge that you're a God's chosen people, you're not, brothers are not required to stand on the front line and, you know, do what we do. You could be at home, you could pay your tithes, you could, you know, do whatever your profession is, but long as you keep the commandments, the high holy days, you pay your tithes, those basic things, you'll be okay. But when those things that you do start to get in the way of even following the Lord, meaning like you're trying to, like, I'll use rap for an example, or just being, you want to be in the industry, you want to be an actor, you want to be an actress, you want to be a musician, and these things start to change you and take you away from following the Lord, for doing the things of the Lord, for you start to do the things that everybody else is doing. You start to find yourself, you know, birthday parties, and you start to find yourself at parties, and, you know, in the industry, they celebrate everything. So if you want to be a part of that world, you're going to have to be a part of it. But when it starts to get in the way of you keeping the commandments, when it starts to be a stumbling block, when your ambitions and your desires, you know, to have money, or to, you know, be able to go on trips and live a luxurious lifestyle and have, you know, wear Gucci and wear all the finer things, have the finer things in life, when that starts to change you to where you start to not have compassion for your people, when you start to not care whether or not it matters if you're at a, you know, birthday party, if somebody sees you, you're supposed to be in the truth, but they see you at a family get together, that's a holiday or a birthday party, that's when the thing becomes a problem. It becomes a problem when you said your greed, but I would say more your ambition. So explain more what you mean by your greed. Like your lust for,
kind of like how you can, like, it can turn from like just wanting something to like having to have it, like being greedy, like, you know, how you said, like turning away from the things you're supposed to be doing because you want it so bad. Like, at what point does it turn like to that?
It turns into that because when you want it so bad, when you turn away, and that's when it turns into that, right? Let me see. So Issachar, oh, is there any more on that? So like,
La, that's it, the one.
So Issachar Reyes, you said each Sabbath y'all doing breakdowns on the Bible, but I couldn't find Genesis 5 or 8. What particularly is your question about Genesis 5 or 8? You talking about chapters, verses? Like, be a little more specific, Salaki, if you could, please. What about you, young man? You got any questions on the scriptures, anything? Yeah, so I'm gonna wait for him to respond. You so chapter, I mean specifically, give me the chapter and the verse, and give me specifically what are you asking, if you could. Read that precept again that you have for me.
Come on,
So
Philippians.
and call it out.
The book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content.
So when you're in the state of want, like we're as Black and Hispanic people, we're in the state of wanting all things. We're in the state of what, like, we live where we come from a place of poverty, and we want the things that we see that other nations have, that we see on television, that we see in the magazines. We want those things, right? Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 12. I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound.
So Paul is saying, I know how to be content. Even though I may want these things, I know how to be abased, meaning I know how to be like humble, but I also know how to abound. I know, when's the right time to say things and not to say things. When is the right time to want things and not care about the things that I don't have? A lot of times we get caught up in what we don't have. Like that is the issue of life when it comes to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is, we think about the things that we don't have. And all of our problems usually have to deal with money. They have to deal with what you don't have. Like whether you want to go to school, whether you want to do some things, whether you want to have some things, you want to live in a nice area. These things have to do with money. And usually we don't have a lot of money in our community. So instead of getting caught up in the materialism and the things that are superficial, that actually they do mean something. It is nice to be able to live in a home and have your own room and have a nice bed. It is nice to have those things. But if you don't have those things, you don't want to lose yourself in wanting and lusting for those things. So you want to be content in all things.
Right.
And a lot of times I say, you may not have a lot of things, but there are people in all over the world that are doing far worse than you, are in a worse situation than you are.
Right.
You can think about people in the world. There's Africans that's waiting on an airplane to fly by and drop rice from the sky. There's Palestinians that's sitting in an apartment with half of the wall is blown off. There's people all over the world that are in a worse situation than you are. So the main thing is to be content. You understand?
Come on.
Let me see. He says, I watched y'all utilize and watching video, but I just got to chapter 4 last Sabbath and y'all did 17, but I'm trying to catch up. So like I don't do the Sabbath class, but like I said, if you have a specific question on something, put that in the chat. When those brothers, with those two, Alatazar and Itazam, when they're doing the class on Sabbath, those two brothers do the Sabbath class. You can ask them whatever you want to ask them about the Sabbath. If there's anything specific that you have right now, I'll answer it. But as far as, what you're saying and you want to catch up, you can get with those brothers and possibly they can even shoot you some links to previous classes so you can catch up. All right. Keep reading.
Come on. It's like everywhere and in all things, I am instructed to both be full and to be hungry.
I'm instructed to both be full and hungry. Go ahead.
Both to abound and to suffer need.
Both to abound and suffer need, to have an abundance, to have more than you need, and then to be in a situation where you don't have enough that you need. You don't have everything that you want, but you're able to be content in that situation. You're able to long suffer through that situation. You're able to put your ego and your pride and your lust to have things aside to be okay in your situation and not lose your damn mind and not go out and hit somebody upside the head or break into someone's house or go like out here and go and try to steal their catalytic converter and wind up losing your life. There's a story with a brother stealing a catalytic converter. Well, his jacks gave out and the car fell on him and crushed him to death. You're content with the situation now. Does that mean that you're not trying to get better? No. Does that mean that you're not trying to go to school and better yourself? No. Does that mean that you're not trying to get an education, trying to get a better job, want to get promoted at your job? No, that's not what it means. But we all go through this situation where we feel as though we don't have enough. We feel inadequate. We feel like, it's not enough money coming through. It's not enough opportunities. When is things going to change? I can't keep living like this. And you're doing what you got to do. You're doing everything right and everything that you got to do. The number one thing is to trust in the Lord, okay? Right. And I'm basing it on money because, like I said, I'm basing it on things that we don't have. And when the common denominator of these things is finances, it's money. That's the common denominator of things. If you could you give me Salaki, let me see. I think it's in the Apocrypha. Let's see, it's this one. Ecclesiasticus 11:21.
Come on.
So when you're content, you won't be pressured or pressed to go out and sell drugs to make a little extra money. A lot of brothers, what I remember is a lot of brothers, including myself, you would get a few pounds of weed, not to just sell the weed, but because you smoke weed, you look at it like this: like, I want to be able to continue my lifestyle, being able to get high, smoke weed. So I'm going to buy some weed, and that's going to give me I'm always have money in my pocket. I'm gonna always have weed to smoke, and I'll have some extra money, do whatever I want to do. I'll be able to stack some money. But that's how our mind think. We think when we're in this situation, it goes to something evil, right? America in this society crushes, our spirit so bad that we don't think of nothing righteous when we're pressed and we're feeling like we're not feeling content. We don't think of doing something righteous. We think of doing something evil to get us on the good side, to prosper us. Go ahead.
Come on. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor.
The Lord said, marvel not at the works of sinners. Don't marvel means don't. It's not a good word. It's not saying it in a good way. It's saying you look at him like, wow, damn, he doing it big. He doing, he got this going for him. He's selling drugs. He's doing this. You look at the politicians, they're selling drugs, they're lying, they're paying money under the table to get laws passed, and everybody is just prospering that is doing evil. Read it from the top again.
Come on. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor.
It says, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. What is thy labor? What I explained earlier, the things that we do on the regular, but it still seems like it's not enough. You go to work, you work 10-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, and you're at work all the time, but you can't get up. It's like you like, damn, can I get a break? I'm trying to feed my family. I'm trying to take care of everything. I'm spread out thin. Nothing is breaking through for me. They denied me on a promotion at my job. Like, what else do you want, Lord? And you're not content because you're looking on social media and you're seeing somebody that taking pictures of their food and they in Italy. And now you like, damn, I got to be. I failed as a man. I failed as a parent. It's a 20-year-old somewhere making thousands of dollars, making videos in his room. I'm a damn failure. I should have listened to what people was telling me when I was younger. I should have went to college. I should have did this. I should have did X, Y, and Z. And you are not content. You start to look at it like, you know what? This is hell. Ain't nothing working for me. The Bible says to abide in your labor. You going to school, but you trying to pay bills, go to school, get your education so you can get a better job. But it's a whole struggle doing that. You have a struggle trying to get to school. You don't have a vehicle, or the vehicle is giving you problems all the time. and you got to get somebody to fix it, or you got to catch public transportation, and it's just hell, man. But the Bible says what? To abide in what?
Abide in thy labor.
And most importantly, trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord and abide in thy labors. That's the most important thing that's being said right here. Trust in the Lord, not in yourself, not in your job, not in your circumstances, not in the what ifs, not in the could be's, but in the Lord. Go ahead.
Come on. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich.
I mean, come on. It said it's an easy thing on a sudden for the Lord to make a poor man rich. Like what you thinking is an issue is not really an issue with the Lord. Like the issues that we think that we have, they're really not issues. Most of us have food, clothing, and shelter.
Right.
It may not be the type of clothing that you want. It may not be the type of food that you want to eat. It may not be the shelter that you want. But a full stomach is a full stomach.
Right.
A car that can get you from point A to point B is transportation. Like we get caught up in what it looked like instead of what is it actually doing?
Right.
What are you actually lacking? You know what I'm saying? That we get caught up in that. And that's the Lord don't even see that. The Lord sees that you're not homeless. The Lord sees that you're not out begging for bread. The Lord sees that you're in your right mind. You can make a decision to do evil or good. The Lord sees those things. You're not lacking nothing. Go tell one of them bubblehead Africans where they dropping rice out the sky from that, you lacking, that you doing bad. Them people don't want to hear that. They doing bad. They drinking water that's brown. What the hell are you talking about? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? There's people in other lands there's children in Brazil where they go to sleep. Their ceiling is the stars. They don't have a house. They got a shack, and when they lay down, they're looking at the sky, slapping bugs and stuff and critters away from them in the middle of the night. That's not your life here. Like I think we forget how good we actually have it. Yes, we want better. Everybody wants better. And you blessed if you do have a lifestyle like that. You're blessed here in America. And what I'm saying, don't get it twisted that you want to stop striving for greatness. Always strive for greatness. Always strive to be a master in whatever you're trying to do. Do your best. I don't care if you clean toilets all day. Be the best toilet cleaner they have in the company. Be the most professional person they have in the company. Carry yourself like that with excellence, because that's the heritage of the Lord. It's excellence. Right. Sister said some places don't even have water. Yeah, people taking baths in a case of water. Yeah, it's like that. There's some countries where people are taking baths in the river. In the same river, people urinate and defecate in, and trash is in the river. And the same river is people taking baths in it and washing their clothes. So, you can always hold something in perspective to your situation. But if you keep the commandments of the Lord, you abide in your labors, working hard, the Lord will establish what you want to do. Listen, there are people in the world that don't even care about the Lord, don't know the Lord, don't believe in God, but they worked hard and got where they got, or got whatever they got out of their labors. Just working hard. That's just working hard with no belief system. So what more for you and me? If we work hard and we put our minds to some things and we, utilize the things that we learn in the truth in the world and be professional, the Lord will establish whatever we want.
Right.
He established that. Right. Where we at?
Verse 22.
Go ahead. Is more?
Come on.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 22. The blessing of the Lord is in the reward of the godly, and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish.
Right. The blessing of the Lord is the reward. Is what? Is the reward of the godly,
Come on, come.
and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish. I mean, that's self-explanatory. That's just what I said.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I said, brothers and sisters, you know, you watch the truth, you see the truth, but you're not in here with us. You don't have to be. Keep staying in these classes, following along, keeping the commandments, show up at the Passover, and you'll be tawab. Oh yeah, pay your tithes too, and you'll be tawab, meaning you'll be good. You don't have to be in the front line with the brothers, standing at camp, you know, going into the world like Captain Cesariak, battling, you know, everybody, every and anybody, and destroying every and anybody. You don't have to be like that, but abide in your labors. Fear the Lord. Keep the commandments, and the things that you want will be established. And be content in every situation. Be content when you don't got it, and be content when you do got it. Because sometimes we don't got it. Sometimes we down, but sometimes we up. But you got to keep that same mind frame when you up. When things is going good, you know what I'm saying? Money rolling in, you know, bills is real low. You got a little extra money. You can either save it or you can do something nice. Be content in all things. Have an open mind. Be realistic. Be realistic about, you know, your situation. That's what Paul. That's where were you reading that?
Ecclesiasticus.
Salaki. I don't know who was saying that. Salaki on that, but that's what the brother was saying. I believe it's Paul. That's what he was saying. Be content in all things, whether you up or down. Be content. Remember, you know, be realistic. Be realistic about your situation, and keep the Lord first. So now I want to talk about this brother, Christopher Gilbert, or Chris Gilbert. I know y'all heard about this story with this brother that was pushed into some water. Let me pull this up. He was pushed into, it was at a restaurant, a lakefront restaurant, and he was pushed into the water by one of his so-called friends. One of his friends. And I want you to give me, we'll just hold it. We're going to let me get the article. If you could, so like I should have sent you an article. I didn't send you an article. But if you could give me an article on Chris Gilbert.
Come on.
Matter of fact, I got a video. Salaki.
No,
I'm gonna just play the video. Let me get the video real quick. So I think this is the newer video.
Miracle.
Let me see. So this video is a newer video. Let me get the other video. This is not the video. Y'all bear with me. Let me cue this up.
The Louisiana Tech University graduate was hanging out with friends at a lakefront restaurant back on April 14th when one of his friends allegedly pushed him into the water. Now, KSLA exclusively obtained new information today from the Union Parish Sheriff's Office. Law enforcement released the call sheet report from the near drowning incident. And tonight, Chris is still in the hospital, but according to family, he's doing much better and is officially off life support. Coming up tonight on KSLA News 12 at 10, KSLA's Jasmine Franklin breaks down the new information from police and new developments in the Chris Gilbert case.
Myself back up here. Now, this brother was with all white women, and one of them pushed him in the water. And they said he was in the water for almost 10 minutes underwater. They were saying he was brain dead. They were saying, telling his mother he had 72 hours on the machine. His organs were at 20%, meaning they believed that he was not going to make it. This brother also graduated from Louisiana Tech with a master's degree in biological science. And he aspired to be a doctor. That was his goal, was to be a doctor. Now, I want you to look at his friends. I'm going to rewind this on this video. Pay attention. I'm going to blow it up to his friends because there's a video. Okay. Let me blow.
Much better and is officially off life support. Coming up tonight on
On with our news tonight. Well, it's been described by many as a miracle. We gave you the first alert on 26-year-old Chris Gilbert, who was allegedly pushed into a lake by one of his friends. According to family, Chris was submerged underwater for more than 10 minutes. Thankfully, he survived. And after spending more than 2 weeks on life support, Chris's mother says tonight he is officially off life support. This is truly amazing. Take a look at your screen right now. This is a recent photo of Chris sent to us from his mother, Yolanda. As you can see, he looks to be in much better shape. Tonight, he is still in the hospital, but family say he is doing much better. The incident happened a little more than 2 weeks ago in Farmerville, Louisiana. Chris was hanging out with friends at a lakefront restaurant when one of his friends allegedly pushed him into the water. This left Chris with major brain damage, and he was on life support, but according to family, his health is improving. And although it has been a significant improvement in his health, his family is still searching for justice and answers.
In the days of recovery, with him progressing, it's still a struggle, it's still a battle, because we don't know day for day what to expect. And I just want his quality of life to be restored. I don't want my son to have to suffer from something that was not his fault totally.
It's one black kid and a group of white kids that's his friends, and one of them pushed him into the water.
Why is it? You hear what that brother just said? It's one black kid and a group of white kids, his friends, and somebody pushed him into the water. This brother clearly understands what they're dealing with. When you say there's one black kid and then these white kids, that's supposedly his friends. But why we don't have this mind state early? Like why is it once something happens, now we're saying, oh, he was with the white girl or he was with the white guys. Why are you not warning your loved one that these are the devil that the Bible speaks? These people are the devil that the Bible speaks of. You feel me? Why you not warning them? Why nobody ever told them, hey, look, nephew, I don't know what you into, what you doing, but you need to stay away from them.
Right.
Stick to your people. Give not thy sons to their daughters. Now, clearly, this brother, he's educated, and he's not with them for the reason he's with them is obviously he's either talking to one of them, he's interested in one of them, or they're interested in him. Now, not too long ago, you had the NFL draft, right? And people were talking about how most of these brothers that got drafted, it was white women with these brothers when they got drafted. When they got their millions from the NFL, well, these white women, these group of so-called friends that pushed that brother into the water, they the same women. They the same women that them brothers is choosing when they get their NFL contracts. They the same.
Right.
Go ahead, give me that.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Mm-hmm.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
The Lord said, don't make marriages with them. Thy daughter shall not thy give unto thy son. Go ahead.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right. So I don't know what a brother's father is. And I know they're not in the truth. But they understand the dynamic now that something has happened to this young man, that he was with his so-called friends, his white friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making the point solid enough, but it's like we understand who they are, and it's all fun and games until someone is hanging from a goddamn tree.
Right.
Now, if this had been at nighttime, like I said earlier, if this had been at nighttime, nobody would have known what happened. They would have said, oh, we were playing and joking around, having some drinks, and next thing you know, Chris fell in the water. And it was just so dark. And the police would have said, what? We see no signs of foul play. They said this on this story. So they said that he fell in, but somebody said no, they pushed him in. And they knew that he couldn't swim. They pushed him in knowing that he couldn't swim. You see, it's all fun and games until you're at the bottom of a damn river. It's all fun and games until you're at the bottom of a swimming pool at a house party. I asked somebody earlier to find that for me on Black Authentic Truth. It's a sister that she was at a house party, sister, with her white boyfriend at a predominantly white house party. And she ends up at the bottom of the swimming pool, drowned, dead, and nobody knows how she got there. But everybody's outside around the pool, in the house, having fun, drinking. But nobody knows what happened to the sister. There's another story about a sister that was at a slumber party, grown woman, with about 4 or 5 white women. And she ended up dead at this slumber party, and nobody knows what happened. And then guess who comes to investigate? The sheriff comes to investigate. The sheriff is married to the district attorney of the town. These little small hick towns. The district attorney is cousins with the judge. And nobody ever gets justice. And this is how they get away in these small towns. Like what did it say? Lakefront, Louisiana. I forgot the name of the town, but this is what happens. And I just question, like, what is wrong with our people, especially in southern states, where the history so raw there.
Right.
What are you thinking by letting your son hang with a whole bunch of snow bunnies? What are you thinking? It happens all the time. There's a story of the brother where they found him. They found his body later, but they found his body with his private parts put in his mouth, his body halfway dismembered. But the last time his mother heard from him, he had called her and told him a group of white men was chasing him on a pickup truck. And you know how hunters put those cameras in the woods to, take pictures of deers and stuff. Well, one of the cameras got a picture of the brother running with his shirt off. Excuse me. Running with his shirt off, looking back like somebody was chasing him. Earlier, he had got into it with his employer, and he was telling his mother he was having issues with this with his the person that runs the job or whatever. And what ended up happening is he gave one final call and said that he was being chased by a truckload full of white men. Well, they later on found his body dismembered. It had been so long that they found. I'm not going to even say, it's too graphic to say, but he supposedly was messing with a white woman. You see this happen a lot with our brothers and with our sisters. It happened to Sade Robinson very recently. Her body was dismembered. She went on a date with a white bartender, thinking he was a knight in shining armor. She was just 19, very beautiful sister. And that was the last time her family ever seen her. She went out with this man, and within 3 hours, he had already put her to death. And when they went to his house, he had a sex dungeon, and they also found blood that wasn't even her blood. And he had been taking her body part, cut her up, and taking her body parts and putting them in different areas of the hood in Milwaukee to throw police off. But this is the problem right here. There's nothing wrong with loving your people. We done been brainwashed in America to think that we're supposed to look outside of our people for our knight in shining armor. Look outside of our people for the best wife possible, for Snow White. You want to look outside your people for the knight in shining armor and Snow White. But the Bible says this. Go ahead.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
This is a decree from the Most High God himself,
right,
that we should not sleep with other races. Better yet, that's the wrong word. I should not have used that. We should not marry other races. We should not look to give our lives to other races of people.
Right.
As Black and Hispanic men and women. We should be looking at our people like we want to spend the rest of our lives with our own people within our race. We have been brainwashed to think that there's something wrong with that. We have been brainwashed to think that there's something better outside of your people. We have been brainwashed into the idea of diversity and multiculturalism and, all of this garbage that they shove down your throat in the West, in Western society, America and Europe and France. We have been bamboozled. We have been lied to. We have been led astray to think that this is what we should be doing when this was never what the Lord wanted. If the Lord wanted everybody to be together, well, he would have just made one damn race. He would have just made a human race. You get what I'm saying? He would have not made nationalities. He would not gave them their own land. He would have made one group of people. That's it. If the Lord wanted it, think about it. Keep reading. Is that it on it?
No, there's one.
Okay. And then I want to get Tobit.
Come. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
Most likely, if a brother gets with a woman outside of his race, well, the reason why he's even getting with her is because he's a Christian. Because you believe that God loves everybody and that everybody has the opportunity to come to Christ. And so that extends to relationships and dating people and, finding out what other people are like. You said that, well, we're all the same up under Christ, up under white Jesus. We're all the same. I love her the same. She doesn't love you. Her spirit is not like your spirit.
Right.
Your spirit is not like her spirit. Like this extends to everybody. And the truth when it comes to even Africans, because we have a hard time as Black and Hispanic people to think that black people are different from Africans until you find out that you have a different spirit. There's stories right now, a sister that's living out in Ghana. Sisters is getting killed out there. People that have property and buy homes, they come from the Caribbean. They call it the diaspora. They come from the Caribbean. They come from America to set up shop, to buy land, to build their home. As soon as they build their home, they're found dead on their home property. These are sisters going out there, sisters that have made a good life for them out here in America, and made a lot of money going out there because of the return to Ghana in 2019. They had a whole campaign that targeted Black people in America. And now Black people are going back there thinking, I'm going back to the motherland. These are my people. But they get out there and they're murdering sisters. They're knocking down people's homes. They're trying to swindle sisters and brothers when they come out there because they automatically think you got money because you're American. So you thinking you going back to your long lost brothers, but these people don't have the same spirit as you.
Right.
It don't go no further than welcome, my brother. Welcome to Ghana. Welcome to Ghana, my brother. Welcome to Ghana. It's no further. That's all you're gonna get. But as far as them loving you and treating you like how you think you're gonna be treated because you in the so-called motherland, it's worse than how you think you get treated in America by your own people. Because they don't have the same spirit.
Right.
That we're not the same people. And it's crazy that their ancestors is the one that sold you. Now you're trying to come back there. And brotherhood and sisterhood. And look what they're doing to our people. Right? Keep reading.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring them stories out. I'm trying to connect with the sister right now because I would love to bring her on Black Authentic Truth and just show you, like she said, it's not all, peaches and cream out there, how people think going to Africa and is better than America. It's not. And so a lot of these brothers and sisters don't know that they God's chosen people. But they going back there trying to connect and wondering why everybody's trying to cheat them and swindle them and assault them and extort them. Well, if you get an ISUPK under Commander Jenny and Hannah, you'll know exactly why that's happening.
Right.
Go ahead.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Said the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you. It's kind of like you don't want to think that brother got pushed in that water because the Lord was giving him a wake-up call. See, because you believe in white Jesus. You believe that God don't do nothing wrong or nothing bad. God don't do nothing to give you a wake-up call. But that very well could have been a wake-up call. They said he's made a miraculous improvement. And I pray that the brother gets all the way healthy so he could say what the damn truth is.
Right.
It's so many brothers and sisters that have been in situations like that they can't tell you what the truth is because they're dead. But I pray that this brother, he gets his health back, his strength back, that he can say what the real is, and he learns the lesson.
Right.
He learns the lesson that you're learning right now. That the Lord will what? Read that again.
Come on. And so will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
That the Lord's anger will be kindled against you when you do that. Like we haven't learned enough. Nobody noticed what happened to Tiger Woods. Nobody noticed what happened to O.J. Simpson. I mean, at least we didn't get the lesson out of it. In ISUPK, we give you the lessons out of the trials of life.
Right.
And you want to love your oppressors, women, we give you the lessons. And Black and Hispanic women, you want to love your oppressor, the so-called white man. You want to, chase after him and think that he's going to give you a better life and all of that. You're going to end up like Sade Robinson. You're going to end up missing and gone. You're going to end up being called, every name in the book. You better wake the hell up.
Right.
You can drop that. Let's get Tobit. Give me Tobit when his father told him to get a woman from his people. 4 and 12.
Come on, Cal. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12.
Right.
Beware of all whoredom, my son,
Mm-hmm.
and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife.
Take not a strange woman to wife. Beware of all whoredom. You understand?
Right.
And take a woman from your people. That's whoredom. You're being a whoremonger. If you are looking at anything outside of the women of your race, that's whoredom, right? Why is it whoredom? Why would it be whoredom? Think about the precept we just read. Think about give not your sons to their daughters, what it said. Think about that. Why would it be whoredom? Anybody in the comment? Go ahead, young man. That's like it. Ibad Yala. Go ahead.
It's because we're not supposed to marry them. So like they're not bound to the loss, meaning they can then leave us and then go be with another man, turning them into a whore.
No.
Okay.
So remember in the precept it said she from a different race, Olivia honor. No. So remember in the precept it said, give not your sons and your daughters to them.
Right.
Because they would do what?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Because it's going to turn them away from following the Lord.
It's going to turn them away from following the Lord. So if me as a man, I get with a woman from East India, eventually it's going to turn me away from following the Lord, or I'm going to compromise with her. So I'm following the God of Israel, but she follows Shiva or whatever. And then I say, well, okay, well, maybe I can have, God of Israel and that in the same house. Maybe I can, I keep the high holy days. I still do everything I'm doing, but I'm gonna bring one of her little trinkets in the house, one little 4-armed Shivas or something like that, right? And appease her and make her happy. It will turn you. Yakawan said we would be unevenly yoked and take away from the following of the Lord. Yeah. You're going to go against them following. Yeah. Both of y'all are right. Yakawan and Sister Baratanawe. So you would follow other gods like who? Who in history in the Bible did that? Go ahead.
King Solomon.
King Solomon did it. So that's whoredom. Beware of all whoredom. You're not going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments anymore if you get with a white woman. She's not going to understand that. If you tell them, yeah, we keep the Passover, we do this, we do that, she's gonna be like, what? What's that? I don't even go to church. I don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's you like Yakawan said, you will be unevenly yoked, and more importantly, you're going to try to appease her for that tail. You're going to try to make her happy. Do whatever you got to do to make her happy instead of making the Lord happy. You get what I'm saying? So that's whoredom. Strange women will make you go into whoredom because they'll never have your spirit and they'll never understand you. They'll never be able to, level with you and, identify with what you're going through. And that's the same with that's on a basic common sense level where they don't know your struggles.
Right.
An East Indian woman can't even understand my frustration and my pain and the things that how I look at the world. She can't understand it. Now I can pattern my mind to follow America and I can get along with everybody and I can think like everybody. Yeah, of course. You see black people that do that fit in and can be in any situation, but they're trying to fit in. But me as a nigga, it's just a way I think that only a black woman would even understand me. They wouldn't even understand where I'm coming from, and I wouldn't give a damn about what they got going on.
Right.
It wouldn't even mean the stuff they got going on wouldn't even mean nothing to me. I look at it like it's trash, it's weak, it's whack. It has no flavor. Like, what is this? What is that? Like, what y'all do? Like, I wouldn't even want to know. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all do. A lot of y'all do think y'all multicultural, and you think that you can go everywhere and be with anybody, and then you find yourself at the bottom of a damn ditch. Then you find yourself somewhere in somebody else's country and can't get back home to America. You thought you was doing something when you messed with Habibi. You thought you was doing something when you was with the Arab. Now he got you locked up somewhere you can't even leave, and you wearing a damn veil over your face 24 hours a day. You thought you was something here in America when you was with that woman, but not knowing her uncles and her cousins, all of them rednecks hated you. And they was waiting for the chance for you to do something wrong to her so you can come up missing, hanging from a tree somewhere. Police come and say, we see no signs of foul play. The Lord ain't playing with you. The Lord ain't playing with us. And even though we've been here for a while, it's high time that we understand who we are, because the Lord is not playing with us.
Right.
He is a God of war. He is a God. He is a hardcore, radical entity that you can never understand. But he also has mercy and compassion on those who turn away from the things that they're doing. Realize the error in their ways and turn away from that thing.
Right.
Keep reading.
Come on. And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Go ahead.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
And take not a strange woman to wife. Go ahead.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Which is not of thy father's tribe, which is not of thy race.
Right.
Not of thy people, not of thy stock, not of thy kind, not their kin, not of thy kinfolk. Go ahead.
Come on. For we are the children of the prophets.
Because we are the children of the prophets. We are the children of God's chosen people, of the patriarchs. Go ahead.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the seed. We are a royal seed, a royal priesthood. We should not be mixing and mingling with other races. Go ahead.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
Our forefathers from the beginning married wives of their own kindred. That's where the word kinfolk come from. We kin, next of kin, kindred, kinfolk. Our forefathers married people of their own race. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's who our people married. Go ahead.
And were blessed in their children.
And they were blessed in their children. Go ahead.
And their seed shall inherit the land.
And their seed shall inherit everything and inherit the earth eventually. But when you mix, when you sleep with other races and you produce children as a man, those children go through turmoil. They go through a lot because the society we live in says that they are mixed. They have two heritages, and a lot of times they know more of one than the other. So a lot of times they're torn between my black side of the family and my white side of the family.
Right.
They treat me this way, they treat me that way, or nobody treats me the same. And this is all based on societal views in America of race, of colorism. So you do your children a disservice, and although they still are Israelites, if the father is an Israelite, it is still a confusion. It's a confused life because they're torn because of societal views and the way the world is today. They're torn between this and that, and they can see that neither one of their sides of their family are the same. They're very, very different. Not only that, they are treated very different because on one side, they're not black enough through colorism. On the other side, they're not white enough through colorism. So this is also something that happens within our communities when our people go off and want to, make families with other races where the Lord said don't do it.
Right.
Right. If you could give me never trust thine enemy. We're still talking about this, brother. Terrible, terrible thing, man. I hope, like I said, I hope this brother regains his strength. They said been a miracle, the turnaround. He's off life support. I hope this brother learns his lesson, though. I hope he learns a strong lesson to never trust thine enemy. Go ahead.
Like I got a question on the next verse, verse 13.
Oh, go ahead.
It says, "Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons of thy the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them." Is that saying like, that's like, how do I word it? Like, not like don't be a hater, like don't by not like saying like by not taking a daughter of thy fathers. Is that like showing like how you like, because I hate my people? Like, it's like I don't know how to
read that from the top again.
Come on. Verse 13. "Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them." Is it saying?
So
like,
it's saying, yeah. So it's saying, love your people, your brothers. Don't despise your people, and not taking a daughter from them, right? And not choosing to get married to somebody from your people,
right.
And you're choosing to get married to, in that time, would have been a Persian or a Mede. You know what I mean? I think this is during the time of the Medes, where this Tobit is written, in the captivity of the Medes. We were under the captivity of the Babylonians, and then the Persians came and conquered the Medes. And so now, the Medes came and conquered the Babylonians, right? And then it's the Persians. So he's saying that don't despise your people, love your people. And not doing that, that's what you're doing. You're despising your people. You're hating your people by choosing someone else from another race.
Okay.
That's what it's saying.
The bar.
In the bar. What I asked for? Never trust thy enemy. Yeah.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. "Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth."
News 12 at 10.
It's like, go ahead. Wait, hold on. Keep going.
"For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness."
So like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? Let me just get back to this area where these are his friends. So they're saying they're all white. His friends is all white. Okay. She's Snow White. She's so sweet. Her hair is flowing in the air, and she has rosy pink cheeks and speaks so soft, and she's a heroine. She's the star of the movie, and she needs to be saved, and all of this damn crap. But the Bible says to never trust thine enemy.
Right.
And if blacks and Hispanics, and in this case, if Christopher or Chris Gilbert, if his mother and his family members would have known that he was dealing heavily with the devil that the Bible speaks of,
Right.
then he probably wouldn't have found himself at the bottom of a lake, looking up, reaching, and coming out, falling out of breath, while his white, snow white friends stand there and yell at him and look at him, sit down and look at him. And he thought that these were his friends.
Right.
You don't need enemies when you got friends like that. I'll tell you that much. You don't need a damn enemy if you got friends like that that will know that you can't swim and push you in the water and see you drown for damn near 10 minutes and don't hop in there and try to get you. Damn, throw a rope in there or something. Didn't do nothing but stand there and yell at you, but knew that you couldn't swim in the first damn place. And this goes back to, this is a very, like I was saying, they need to make this a law where if you push somebody in a body of water, that is a crime. And in this case, you push a black person in a body of water, knowing a lot of black people don't like to even go near water, can't swim. It should be considered a hate crime. Should be considered a hate crime. Go ahead.
Flaky, could you precept with this with Ecclesiastes 6 and 8?
Let me hear it.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6, verse 8. For some men is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. Or start from verse 7.
Let me hear it.
Verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some men is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Nah, I wouldn't precept with this. What that's saying is more like a friend that is, he's a friend with you because it's beneficial to be a friend with you. But when, things get rough, he not going to be around.
Okay.
So I wouldn't precept with. What I would precept with this is love your own people, because the thing is, it's obvious that this brother, and I'm not coming, this brother, he just got off of life support. So I'm not trying to come down hard on him. I'm coming down on the idea, the Christianity in us, to think that we can love other people. And this brother thought that, he wouldn't have been with these white women if he didn't have a interest in one of them, I'm sure.
Right.
If you catch me with 5, 6, 7 sisters, somewhere swimming, you better be damn sure I have an interest in one of them. I'm interested in one of them. Might be interested in 2 of them. I don't know. Hey, now that I'm in the truth, but I'm just saying, let's not play dumb. Obviously, this brother had an interest in one of those snow bunnies, and this is what it resulted in, him at the bottom of the lake. Go ahead.
Or could it be that he was living like an alternative lifestyle, hanging around all women?
Could, but from the pictures, the brother don't look like, I can't call it. Nowadays you don't know. You never know. You never know. But even with that being said, at the very least, these are supposed to be his friends. Suppose, quote unquote. I want you to read it from the top again. Let me Christianity with a passion because our people are so damn hypnotized. When you won't even forgive a brother that bump into you the wrong way or look at you the wrong way. But when a man goes into a church and kills 8 people, you turn around and forgive him. Like when the most heinous crimes is committed against our people by another race, you want to say, oh, I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him. I just hope that Jesus comes into his heart and he recognizes and he finds the Lord Jesus. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not going to forgive no damn devil for doing wrong to my family. I'm not forgiving no devil. He better be lucky that he's in chains. You know what I'm saying? Like, Christianity is worse than crack cocaine when it comes to our people not being able to stand on anything. We can't even stand against a damn murderer. We can't stand against a serial killer. We can't stand against a mass murderer that is not even black. Meaning somebody of another race does something heinous to us, and we want to turn around and forgive in the name of Jesus. What is wrong with us? You got that again?
Come on.
Give me that.
The book of Ecclesiastes.
This is in the South where you have a messed up history of racial tension, slavery, and evil. And it seems like y'all in the South, y'all have not got the memo. Like we're in Southern California, and you'll never catch me in a situation like that. Even when I wasn't in the truth.
Right.
I would never be caught dead in a situation where I'm the token Negro. I'm that only Negro with all of these white people at the beach surfing at night. You know, at a waterfall, at at Magic Mountain, at the mall, at the park, at anywhere, any damn where. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
It's never going to happen. Until the day I don't have breath in my lungs, I will teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, never, ever trust thine enemy.
That's right.
Because as iron rusteth, so does their wickedness. Their wickedness does get worse and worse and worse.
Right.
No one would have ever, I have to keep reiterating that. If this would have happened at nighttime, no one would know what had happened. The police would have said, we find no signs of foul play. The friends would have said, oh, we were just having a good time and we heard a splash and Chris was gone. And no one would ever have got the truth. You know how many stories there are like that? There's thousands of stories like that. I'm talking about before the internet ever existed. I'm talking about before video cameras ever existed. Just imagine how many brothers and sisters have perished and no one will ever know what really happened, because nobody is giving up nobody up. Nobody is telling the truth. These devils will hold the truth to their deathbed. When they get on their deathbed, that's when they want to tell the damn truth, because it ain't no reason to fear anything now. They ain't got no more life to live. So then they want to tell the truth. Yeah, when we were 16, yeah, we hung a black man, and yeah, we were part of that. There's no repercussions now. You're on your deathbed. Now you want to say what the real is. Don't worry. Don't worry. The Lord is, when the Lord returns, everything is going to be revealed. And all the shame of the Edomites, of the white race, is going to be revealed. And they're going to pay for every goddamn thing they've done to our people in the dark. Everything is going to come to light. There will be nowhere they can hide, no lie. Every rock will be unturned, and every secret will be found out. And we'll know, and the world will know how devilish and evil these people have always been.
Right.
If you could give me Ezekiel 35:5, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to Nasty Nate, fake Israelites, fake Israelite doctrine.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
The Lord said, listen, y'all done had a perpetual hatred. Don't fake the funk. Don't act like you don't hate us. Don't act like you haven't hated blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I say it all the time. You think that with this story with Christopher, you think that we live in a post-racial society where, we done got over racism. There's no longer blunt racism that's in your face. White people ain't standing out with signs saying, go back to your part of the town, nigger. They're not standing out saying, don't come into our neighborhood, nigger. You spick, you wet back. They're not doing that no more. You know how they do it? You know where racism exists? Racism exists in laws, right, and governments and penal codes and proposals, laws being passed. Somebody telling you, sorry that we're not hiring. Sorry, I'm sorry, you didn't make all the requirements. We can't hire you at this moment, but you can apply again in 6 months. That's where the racism exists now. I'm sorry, but we can't give you this loan for this home. You think racism doesn't exist? You think that they don't go in their homes and they talk about blacks, Hispanics, and the Indians just how we talk about them in our homes? They do. The same way a black man, this has happened to me a million times being in the truth at work. And I've dealt with so many different people, right? Women, men, the same way blacks and Hispanics will say, well, those white people, y'all lower your voice. I don't lower my voice. I talk how I talk. Well, those, those white people, blah, 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 blah. It's like that's what everybody I come across, everybody knows it, but that's how we talk. We talk like we don't want them to hear, but we do the. Well, those, the white people, the white people, those supervisors and stuff. The same way we talk, they talk about us. The stereotypes, all of the things that, if they get caught doing in public now because of being politically correct, they get in trouble sometimes. Well, they do that all the time. Just sometimes some of them slip up in public. Some of them slip up on a phone call. Some of them slip up and get recorded on video. They do it all the time.
Right.
The Lord said, not me, not the ISBK, not Commander Junior Hanna, not no one else, but the Lord said that they would have a perpetual hatred, meaning a never-ending hatred.
Right.
The Bible also said, never trust thine enemy. They slick and crafty. So just because you don't see it, and just because of your personal relationships with some white folk that are good, doesn't mean that what the Lord said isn't the truth.
Right.
Your personal relationships is whatever they may be. But the Lord is talking about a nation of people. He's not talking about one person. I have great relationships. I've had some great relationships. I have one of my best friends, his mother is white. And I love her because she was a part of my childhood. She took care of me. She looked out for me. Does that change the judgment that is coming to the white race?
No.
Because that don't change the judgment that's coming to the white race.
Right.
You're out your goddamn mind. I didn't say that. The Lord said it. It's like a brother. If a brother, let's just say a brother, his father is black, his mother is white. Does he not love his mother? No, of course not. He loves his mother. And if you try to put your hands on his mother, he gonna F you up. That's his mother. Is she a sister in the body of Christ? No, she is not. Doesn't change that she's his mother and that she raised him. That's his mama. She's not a sister. She's not, she can't come to the Passover, but that's his mama. And you violate his mama, he gonna F you up.
Right.
Like anybody would. So I'm trying to get you to understand that personal relationships mean absolutely nothing. Personal relationships that you have with the white race, whether it's your friends, your boss, people you go to school with, people your classmates, none of that actually really matters because the Lord is dealing with a nation of people. Okay, keep reading.
Come on. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
You see, because they didn't hate blood. They wanted to shed blood all the time, and they didn't hate blood. So the Lord said, I'm going to prepare thee unto blood. Him preparing them unto blood will be World War III. Go ahead.
And blood shall pursue thee. If thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Since you didn't hate blood, you didn't hate beef. You didn't hate drama. You didn't hate smoke. You wanted smoke. Now the Lord is going to prepare smoke.
Right.
You want the smoke, the Lord is going to prepare it. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate.
The Lord said he's going to make Mount Seir most desolate. Go ahead.
And cut off from it that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. Verse 9.
You could that. You could drop it.
Come on.
I think I made the point.
Right.
The point is that they had a perpetual hatred for us, and they still do. And then everything that they got coming, they deserved it. They worked for it. They worked hard to get this. They worked hard to get this judgment that the Lord is bringing.
Right.
They didn't want. They wanted smoke. They wanted smoke with the Lord's people. They still do. They still accuse the Lord's people night and day. They are the accuser. And guess what? When the Lord returns, when the angels return, they're going to accuse. He's going to accuse them. He's going to bring smoke to them. They wanted fire. They wanted brimstone. He's going to bring that to them. They want to drop bombs. They want to make places desolate. He's going to bring that to them. They want to put people in subjection. They want people beneath them. They don't want to give people a chance or opportunity. He's going to bring that to them. And that'll be righteous. That's righteousness, justice. Okay. If you could, give me Mark 10 and 8. And let me get this video with this fake Israelite. Real quick, Mark 8 and let me see. Let me present this video.
So you said 8 and 10?
Yes, Mark 10 and 8. I'm sorry. Let's see.
Marriage. Can I have a wife? Can I go marry another wife?
Well, get that in 1 Timothy.
The true
You know what I
saying.
like better? I like 1 Corinthians 7:2 better.
Yes, sir. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication,
Sexual sins, to avoid sexual sins,
let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
now Timothy 3:2.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless. The
The
husband,
word bishop means head or leader. Go ahead.
the husband of one wife.
So now people go out and do whatever they want, but it don't change what's written.
So this is everybody know who this is. I don't need to say who the purple cat is, but this has been an issue in the truth for a long time. People that leave the truth and start new doctrines. Now, this brother on here is asking him about, he's heard that he can have more than one wife. And this cat that runs the purple group goes to a few precepts to say that you can only have one wife. Now, we're going to get it in the Bible, what the Bible says. So if you could give me Mark 10 and 8 and give the actual real understanding of, you know, having one wife, having none, or, you know, having multiple. Go ahead.
The book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 8. And they twain shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, but one flesh.
So I think you probably want to skip up one, right? Maybe.
Verse 7. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
Right.
So then they are no more twain, but one flesh.
So the scriptures say, this is in Genesis also, this is Christ speaking. It says, when a man leaves his mother and father, he gets a wife and they become one flesh. Okay. And I think that what people get hung up on is the one flesh. Now, a man could have more than one woman. That is not against the law. But whenever you become one flesh with a woman, you're becoming one flesh with that woman. Now, if you have more than one woman, you are still one flesh. It doesn't negate the fact that you have another wife. You understand? But people hear one and think, oh, I see. And what I'm explaining to you is a Christian way of looking at the Bible and looking at the precepts. So if you could give me Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If you could, wait, hold that. Skip down to verse 11, because we need that. We need verse 11.
Come on. Verse 11. And he saith unto them, whosoever shall put away his wife and marry another committeth adultery against her. And if a man shall and if a woman shall put away her husband and to be married to another, she committed adultery.
So it doesn't say if he keeps his wife and marries another woman, it's adultery. It says if he puts her away. So you want to, this is Christ again. He's saying, because they're asking him, the apostles are asking him. They're asking him this question about putting away a wife. So if you put your wife away in order to get another wife, she eventually is going to go be with another man. So it's like you're forcing her to commit adultery. Right? You're committing adultery by putting her away, because eventually she's going to be with another man, but actually she's your wife. But you've seen some other chick that you want, some other bride, some sister you want, and you like, I want her, I don't want you, the hell with you. And so that is saying, a lot of people think that it's saying that you should just stay with one woman. It's not saying that. It's saying that when you put her away, naturally, if a man, even now today, if a man was to break up with a woman, naturally, he just say, I don't want to be with you no more. Naturally, she's going to be with another man.
All right.
That's a given. That's guaranteed. And you're committing adultery by putting her away. It's not saying if you get another woman and keep her, you're committing adultery. It's saying if you put her away, you're committing adultery. Now give me the Deuteronomy 21 and 15. Come on, God. So I just want to make it clear. I'm not even arguing about multiple wives right now. I'm not making a point against this fake Israelite about multiple wives. What is the point I'm making, if you could tell me? Go ahead.
Is it where there's no law, there's no sin?
No. Simply, I'm making a point about the truth of the Bible. I'm simply making a point about the truth. This is not in defense of multiple wives or one wife. This is in defense of the truth, because what he is pushing, what these fake Israelites push, especially in this particular purple group, is that you can only have one wife, and that's how God designed it. And we're going to get some more on it. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved.
If he had what?
if a man have 2 wives.
I thought the fake Israelites believed in keeping the law. I thought they believed in the law of Moses. Go ahead, read it from the top again.
Come on. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children.
So it's talking about if a man has 2 wives, one of the wives he loves, and one of them, he has a lot of problems with. He hate her. Go ahead.
And they have borne him children.
And they both had children. They both had children. Go ahead.
Both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he makes his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
Right. So it's saying that if a man has 2 wives and he has one that he loves and one that he hates, when it's time to give the inheritance, he can't give his inheritance to the one that he loves firstborn if the one that he hates had a child first. He got to give it to that one, right? Because that would be like playing favoritism, because you love this rib, but she didn't have your first son. The one you don't like had your first son, but you want to give it to the one that you do like, that son. You got to give it to the one who had the first son, period. Right? But that's not even the point of this breakdown. The point is what we just read in the beginning. Right. If a man has 2 wives, okay? You said so they're fake because they don't want many wives. They're fake Israelites because they're not in the truth. Right. Because they don't break down the Bible properly. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about is wives, the subject, but the point I'm making, like I just said about 3 minutes ago, this is really not about more than one wife. This is about the truth of the Bible, and they're not breaking the Bible down properly. Now we're going to go to give me what did they pull? Give me 1 Corinthians 7:2. This is what they just pulled to make their point. But you see how I just came with different precepts to make my point. They pulled 2 precepts. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
It says I want you to hear the key to this is to avoid fornication. What is fornication? Fornication is unlawful sex. Now, in this video, this Nasty Nate 7 said that fornication is sexual sins. That's he Christianized it. Okay, he Christianized it. So fornication, to be very specific to the law, is unlawful sex. What is unlawful sex? Abad Yala, give me some examples.
Alternative lifestyles.
Alternative lifestyles. LGBTQ is unlawful sex. Young man Jeremiah, what is unlawful sex? Give me an example. No, he just said that. Give me something else. Something that would be an unlawful between unlawful sex, other than a man being with a woman.
With another man with another man or another wife.
Adultery, yes. Adultery is unlawful sex. What else is unlawful sex? Bestiality is you doing something with an animal is unlawful sex. What else is you did I say what you was gonna say?
Lie.
Go. Let me hear it.
Sex with a woman when she's on her flower.
Okay. Okay. Intercourse with a woman when she's on her flower is unlawful sex. Another unlawful sex is what was on the tip of my tongue? A son sleeping with his father's wife. Unlawful sex. A father sleeping with his daughter, like incest. There's so many things that are under the umbrella of unlawful sex, but the Christian church thinks that unlawful sex is a man sleeping with somebody outside of his marriage, or a woman sleeping with somebody outside of their marriage. You're correct, Sister Baratha. I was sleeping with a B, sleeping with your sister. Another thing is unlawful for a man to do is to sleep with 2 sisters. You not at the same time, but if you sleep with one sister and then later on you get with her sister, that's unlawful. Also, what's unlawful is you to sleep with a sister and sleep with her mother. These are things that you see happen all the time in the black community. All the time. That's fornication. Go ahead. Go from the top.
Come on. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
So to avoid fornication, to avoid doing these type of weird things, you want to have a wife. Now they're getting to your own wife. Go ahead.
Come on. And let every woman have her own husband.
And let every woman have their own husband, meaning to avoid fornication. So for a man to avoid sleeping with multiple women, for a woman to avoid sleeping with multiple men or being a prostitute, for a man to avoid, sleeping with a goat or whatever the case may be, you need a wife. Because if you are burning and you have a desire, you need to have a wife to quench that desire. And in same with a woman, you need to have a man to quench that desire, a husband, right? Yes, that's correct too. Sleeping with another man while you're married. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife.
You can drop that. I'm sorry. This is what the precept they read. Now give me 1 Timothy 3 and 2.
Timothy chapter 3, verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife.
Stop right there. It says a bishop must be blameless, the husband of one wife. What is this talking about? What is a bishop? Abayala.
I'm not sure.
A bishop is like a master that's over many churches. Okay. So a bishop Christ would have been a bishop, or Paul would have been a bishop. Because remember, Paul went to different churches, teaching different churches, right?
Come on.
What this precept is talking about is the one wife is the truth, the husband of the truth. You understand? Because why? It says they must have one wife, correct?
Come on.
Well, Paul didn't have no wife.
Right.
Christ didn't have no wife.
Right.
It's not talking about an actual physical wife. Right? Now give me Salakia. We'll end with this. Listen, I'm an officer of 5,000 in the ISUPK. I know more than your leader of your school. A young man in the school of under Commander General Hanna knows more than Nasty Nate.
Right.
Knows the Bible better than him. And that's what happens when you leave the truth. You start your own fake camps. You lose the breakdown, and you're going to come up with a whole new different doctrine that goes against what the Bible actually says. Give me Matthew 22 and 2.
The book of Matthew 22, verse 2. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants, called them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Verse 4.
Salakia, is that what I want? Let me get it. I got you. Is that somebody's phone? Salakia. Yeah, give me 25, 1 to 13. Salakia.
Okay.
Apologize for that. And I want you to understand something. Like Christ always came with these parables. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the
You can
bridegroom.
just stop right there. Just give me the beginning. Give me the beginning again.
Come on. The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins.
The kingdom of heaven, this is Christ speaking. The kingdom of heaven shall be likened unto 10 virgins. I think about 5 of them actually got their things in order. But Christ compared the king of heaven to having how many virgins?
10.
10 wives. Not guarantee you're going to have all 10, but it was multiple potential wives that Christ compared the kingdom of heaven to. So if having more than one woman or more than one wife was such an evil thing and a thing we shouldn't do, why would Christ, who is going to sit on the throne of David and at the right hand of the Most High, use this parable?
Right.
Why wouldn't he just use something else? If it was so evil and it's something, you know why Christ used the parables that he used? He used them because this was happening then.
Right.
He used parables that people can understand because that's what people actually saw. And that's why he used parables like the sower and the seed, because people actually understood what sowing a seed was on this ground, on fertile ground, on fertile soil. He used these different type of parables because people live this life and they could understand it. So your fake camp Israelite leader doesn't know the Bible. He doesn't understand the breakdowns of the Bible. The breakdowns of the Bible and the truth are in the home of the truth since 1969. If you could give me the history real quick, and we'll end with this. Give me the history on marriage, on monogamy.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the history on monogamy, okay? Put this up there for y'all.
You want to know? Sorry.
Yeah, give it to me now.
It says Roman marriage was a
Salakia, you said it was no sound? Give me a 1 if y'all can hear me. Did the sound go out for anybody else? I see the trooper. Have his own. Did the sound go out for anybody else? All right. Let me see. Let me go back in. You can hear it now. Okay, y'all can hear it now, but you couldn't hear it when I had it on full screen. No sweat. Okay, look, we'll leave it like this because I know for sure that y'all can hear me. Go ahead.
Okay.
Marriage was in ancient Rome. Salaki for that.
Marriage in ancient Rome was strictly a monogamous institution.
Uh-huh.
Under Roman law, a Roman citizen, whether male or female, could have only one spouse at a time.
Oh, so under Roman law, you can only have one spouse at a time, meaning like you could have multiple partners. You just got to get married and you got to get divorced. Go ahead.
The practice of monogamy distinguished the Greeks and Romans from ancient civilizations.
So the practice of monogamy distinguished the Greeks and Romans from other ancient civilizations. Go ahead.
In which elite males typically had multiple wives.
So typically other nations had multiple wives. Go ahead.
Walter Scheedel believes the Greco-Roman monogamy may have arisen from the relative egalitarianism of the democratic and republican political systems of the city-states.
Egalitarian. I'm Salaki. I forget the word, but the word is
egalitarianism.
Egalitarianism. All right. So that word means that's where you get marriage today, meaning marriage is like a partnership today. So, you know, when that's what that piece of paper is all about, like things getting split in half. Go ahead.
The aspect of monogamous institution was later embraced by early Christianity, which in turn perpetuated it as an ideal.
Wait, say, go back. You got to go back to the part. That's a heavy part with Christianity. Go ahead.
The aspect of monogamous institution was later embraced by early Christianity.
So it was embraced early by the early Christianity. That this is like in the Byzantine Empire, ancient Rome. Okay, that Christianity, which is the Roman Catholic Christianity that branched out to Protestant, Catholic, Baptist, all of those different, like Christianity that we know today is under the umbrella of the Roman Catholic Church. Go ahead.
Which in turn perpetuated it as an ideal in later Western culture.
In later what?
Western culture.
And later Western culture. Western culture being America, Europe, Britain, France, westernized society. When your ancestors came here on slave ships, cargo slave ships, that's where you learn, and it was ingrained into you that a man should only be with one woman. Now, going back to these cats that was speaking about teaching the Bible, saying that a man should only be with one woman, that's not my argument. According to the Bible, a man can be with one woman, he can be with multiple women, or he doesn't have to have no women.
Right.
You know, there's people today that are what they call virgins. You know, biblically, a virgin is somebody of marriageable age. The original meaning of virgin didn't mean somebody that never had sex. Okay, it just meant somebody of marriageable age. But you have people today. I think I seen a video with a sister where she was actually, she probably in her late 30s, early 40s, and she had never had sex with a man. You have people like that. You got people that, for religious reasons, they don't have a husband or they don't have a wife. Like I said before, Christ didn't have a wife. Paul didn't have a wife. It was many brothers. Like Christ said, there are eunuchs that's made for the kingdom of heaven, meaning there's people, you know what a eunuch is? A man that doesn't have his stuff down there, but spiritually, there are people like that they dedicate their lives to following the Lord, and they never have that desire. But Paul also said, if you burn, meaning you have that desire to be with a woman, you have that desire to be with a man, you should marry. You should be with somebody and you should get married. But what I'm talking about has nothing to do with me proving the point that you can have multiple women or whatever the case. My point is there's so many different brothers out here that's teaching the Bible that are not teaching it correctly.
Right.
They are not teaching the truth of the Bible. And the truth of the Bible is there is no law that a man can't have more than one woman. There's no law that a man has to be monogamous. I mean, just be with one woman. There's also no law that a man can't be without a woman, or a woman can't be without a man. You can do whatever you want to do. But if you're going to burn, if you feel like, man, you know, I need to be with a woman. I need to be with her. You should do that thing. It's better to do that than to burn or to turn to fornication. Though you poking a hole in the wall or something. Hey, I mean, it's better to do that. It's better for you to do it the right way than for you to do it the wrong way, which is fornication, which is unlawful sex, which is you wig out. You look at your brother, or you look at your sister, or you look at your auntie. Or you look at the cow outside. That's what they do in other places. It's crazy it may sound crazy for me to say that, and you hearing me say this, but this actually happens in other countries. This happens all the time. These are things that people do, and y'all know what happens in America. You know that incest and all that stuff that happens. You know what I mean? But with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. Wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up. Hey, the water. Thank you for everybody that's been rocking with me tonight. I'm gonna just run down these names real quick. There was a lot of people in the call today. We were live on Hollywood Israelites, and we were live on Nevada. We were live in Vegas. So shout out to y'all in Vegas. Sister Baraka Nawach. Man, I'm gonna have trouble with your name. UPK Trooper. Nathab Balem.
Nathab Ilam.
Nathab Balem.
Nathab Ilam. Nathab Ilam.
Nathab Ilam. Nathab Ilam. The water. Quadash Ya'ala. Issachar Reyes, Yakawan, my main man in the house. Brother Dominic from Oceanside. Shout out to you. Let me see. Sister Nazam Ana Jewel. Shout out to you. Let me see. I'm scrolling. I can't see the picture. I don't know if this is a brother or a sister, but DF, shout out to you. Sister Ayla, One West, shout out to you. Let me see. Y'all was rocking with me, though. Y'all was up in here rocking with me. Kev, shout out to you. Mercedes Collins, shout out to you. Yeah, the way you broke it. Hey, look. The way you put it in there, that makes it a lot easier. Nathab Ilam. Nathab Ilam, right? Most High Christ. Ate the water for that, Olivia Arnold. Yeah, so we'll be back, man. I'm working on some heavy history. Like I told y'all, I was supposed to have been going over Exodus and just showing Moses in the historical record, and showing as we read the Bible and we see the life of Moses, just showing the life of Moses when he killed the Egyptian, how he had to flee, and how he was going to be the next to be on the throne of ancient Egypt, because he came at a time where the Pharaoh had no son. He only had a daughter, that daughter that took Moses in. And so when he killed the Egyptian and he fled, they had to get someone else to take his stead. And that would have been not the Pharaoh of the Exodus, but the Pharaoh that is the precursor to the Pharaoh of the Exodus. And I'm just working on it. I'm trying to get it right so I can present it in the right way. But the water for y'all, which means thank you. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I will be back next Wednesday and we will go hard. And yeah, we'll get it in. Let's clap it up. Hey, stay tuned. I'm gonna play these these skits. All right. Shalom, Israel.
Yo, Kendrick is dead. This is over. This is not even a debate. It's done.
Drake spent double agents. Every diss Kendrick made is bullcrap.
Not close. It's not even close.
The breaks, I heard your finish, you don't want me no more. Okay. There's 3 ghosts left, and I see 2 of them kissing and hugging on stage. I love her to death, and in 8 bars I'll explain that phrase. It's nothing nobody can tell me. I don't wanna talk on no silly. You know I got language barriers. It's no accent you can sell me. You're cold and ivory, no, I'm a selfish nigga. The crown is heavy. I pray they my real friends, if not, I'm whining. I don't like you popping shit that's for real, for him, I hear it the beef.
That's really all we're talking about here. This is a whole setback.
I'm not gonna lie. Drake murked Kendrick Lamar. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Destroyed. It ain't even close.
The Kendrick gaslighting is great.
Not even close.
Boys just want to see Drake fall. I'm convinced. He been at the top.
They talking about Drake fans. I see Kendrick fans going on right now.
Boy out here beating on women? Crazy.
Beating women is crazy. IUIC? Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Hold on, what y'all say, nigga? Turn this shit off.
Why did you move to New York?
Y'all talking about Kendrick? We talking about Kendrick and Drake. Man, that nigga Drake trash as hell. You know that too, boy. What was trash? The whole motherfucking song was trash. Which one? Drop and give me
all of them. Nigga, first of all,
tell me.
First of all, Drake's a pussy.
How?
Okay. And I know you know that too.
How?
He not like that.
Stats. He not like that. Hold on. Kendrick is like that.
Stats.
Kendrick is like that.
How?
He from Compton. But he's not from no hood. Toronto. What that mean?
Stats.
Lamar is raising the son that's not here. Kendrick Lamar disappeared to New York for 5 years. Baby Keem right now. Taylor Swift approves his music.
It's not close.
You see what these brothers is talking about? This can get out of hand real fast. The moral of the story is respect someone else's opinion. Keep it pushing.
You know what? The wall's right, man. I lost my mind for a little bit, man.
Too, so
the wall's right, man.
Yeah, this shit don't mean nothing to me.
Man, fuck that nigga Kendrick.
Fuck that nigga Kendrick.
Yeah, fuck Drake. What you mean, fuck Drake?
I told you that
Drake. And Christ is Solomon. Where did you get that breakdown?
The Lord. Like it, sir. Gentleman behind me see your class. He said, well done. Like it.
Fried chicken, napkin.
Put that on the table for me, warrior.
I'm right.
Rank raise coming, warrior.
He's trying to holler at you about that class.
All right, for sure.
Excellent class, by the way.
I appreciate that, boy. Yeah.
After you.
There he is, man of the hour. Take a seat, man. Take a seat. What's going on with you, brother?
Yeah.
Pour us up live.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man. Heard you taught a hell of a class.
Hey, man. The water, sir. The water.
Excellent job, by the way. Hey, look, man. You know what I was thinking. Tell me what you think. Thursday, 7 p.m. Prime time. Scripture breakdown. What you think about that?
I consider it.
That's all I need you to do, man. Laya Shala.
Laya Shala.
And more, man. Hey, wake that brother up. Wake him up. Wake him up. Wake that brother up. Wake up, bye. Yeah. Hey, wake that brother up. Wake up, bye. Yeah. Hey, wake up. Wake up, bye. Most High in Christ. You back with us? Most High in Christ, like. And that's why Christ was Solomon, Christ was Melchizedek, and reincarnation is in the Bible. Hey, I love that. Do me a favor. See me one more time, Baba Bashar. I appreciate it, I appreciate it. Warrior.
All right, y'all. We up out of here. Up out of here. Shalom, Israel.